Conservative commentator Charlie Kirk has been shot and killed while speaking at a university in Utah.
We are hearing from President Trump. He is on his Truth Social platform saying that Charlie Kirk has passed away.
Well, I'm certain that I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. I woke up to about 8 texts saying exactly the same thing. Just in case you don't, Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck. I think that this is going to be our generation's JFK moment. In fact, the footage does very much look like if JFK was filmed in 4K. I've got to say, off the mark, I don't think that that's happening in any other country. I think that you would have to go to a very desperate third world nation before you're seeing this level of violence on a daily level. I mean, the day before, we were thinking about doing a video of the guy that walked into the train and just slashed some woman and walked out. This is 0 days and counting since last senseless political death. I count the other one as political. This one, I mean, shot under his banner that says, "Prove me wrong." I guess they did with physics and bullets. This is quite a bizarre phenomenon that comes specifically out of the United States. If you are from the United States and watching this, just so you know, the rest of the developed world doesn't behave like this. We have our nutbags. We have our psychopaths. But they become historic folklore because of how rare they are. This, I can already see it in the commentary, is coming out as yet another, Charlie Kirk got owned in this debate. This is how it seems to be seen through the paradigm immediately. There will always be the token, I don't agree with violence. It seems to be as empty as saying hello to a member on the street when you bump into them. This is a cliche. Maybe not in the United States. Maybe you actually do have to be reminded of that. But it seems like that's always the first thing. I don't condone any violence. And then there will be a heap of commentary after that, either pushing a political point, which will be something about banning guns, or the fact that there's too many psychopaths in America and we need to do something about the mental health crisis. Or it'll just be straight up whether or not the person that died that day deserved to die. This is the level that it's gone to in the United States. I don't know, from an outsider, I've got to say, you guys doing all right? It really seems like a very sick culture has started to emerge out of there. I'll give you another example. When it came to the October 7 killings, not that I endorse them, but there was a casus bellum behind it. It was for a bigger cause. When the Israelis attacked back, again, not that I endorse it, there was a casus bellum behind it. There was big political nation-building reasons for the violence. In the United States, a lot of the time, it seems to be this person pisses me off on Twitter. I guess it's got the flavour of politics to it. It really seems like there's a lot of death that's happening now for bizarre, abstract reasons that really just boil down to, not this person on my feed again. Obviously, maybe it's because I am a political commentator that has had an assassination attempt on me, so I feel a level of empathy and camaraderie with Charlie Kirk. I will say, aren't you glad that he got shot after South Park parodied him? Man, at least he got to see him reach the zenith. There really is only downhill from there. You're not going to get higher than that. I guess that's a positive. But I'll say this. I think that in Australia, you would have had to have gone to the absolute depths, the peripheries. I'm talking about those forum sites before you had someone, when someone tried to do an assassination attempt on me, before anyone in Australia was saying, good, that guy deserved it. Now, that has changed since, and I have seen a lot of these same figures say it, but at least we had the convention to just leave it at, this is a bit too far. Now, granted, a lot of them said it through gritted teeth, but I will credit the Australian public for saying that political violence is probably not a good idea. I think that, honestly, apart from that cliche opening that Americans discuss, this is an open question. In fact, it seems to be that it just is acceptable. This is acceptable behavior in the United States. Now, that's your country. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm just saying, from an outsider perspective, I'm very, very scared. That is psychotic. I cannot believe how public it is as well. It seems like the more public it is, the better. And I will add this. What do you think that you're accomplishing with this? Really? Like, in the sick, twisted mind of these people that go out, shoot someone that, you know, in their mind, they will concoct a very tangential reason for why they deserved it. Do you think that anything is going to happen other than they're not going to post on that specific account anymore? Another Charlie Kirk will rise, I can assure you. This is very much like having an issue with McDonald's and going out and shooting Ronald McDonald. You're shooting an actor in clown makeup. That's what you've done today. You don't think that they're just going to say, oh, okay, we'll get this guy in another suit and put another one there. There is no win here. None. Just this sort of sick, endless circus that continues to parade around the United States where, honestly, at this stage, you know my political leanings. I was always of the camp that it's entirely guns' fault. I'm starting to honestly think that the Republicans do have a point with, it's also that they're sickos there. I think that they're both sort of right at this point that, okay, you could ban all guns tomorrow, not that you ever could, but theoretically, if you did that, I think that America is such a sick country that they'll just move to knives. And vice versa. I think that there's nothing really that you can do about that either. I think that there is just and I don't think that you can sit there and say this is for poverty reasons or any of those usual extractions. No, this is a cultural quirk. There are very poor countries across the planet, very poor countries like Bhutan. I don't think that the Charlie Kirk equivalent of in Bhutan is getting shot in the head. This is something that has risen out of here. And I've got to say, honestly, if you are a normal person in the United States and you are watching your country sort of implode in on itself, it must be a horrifying experience because as somebody that sort of depends of you in the District 1 of your empire, it's really, really disheartening. Anyway, I don't know. That was my immediate thoughts when I saw it. I think this is really sad and quite horrifying on a societal level. Let me know what you think in the comments. But yeah, like, sorry that happened to Charlie Kirk's parents. That's awful.